All right, everyone, welcome to day 38 of the 44-day challenge. Today's book is by Enrique Clariana, and the book is called How to Maximize the Price of My Company. Okay? This is what we all want to do. Enrique is a mergers and acquisitions specialist, and this book is catered mostly to individuals who have businesses doing over $10 million a year in sales. What we're putting these videos together for in the 44-day challenge is for smaller companies, people that are running companies that are up to $3 million in annual revenue and below that. So you have likely, if you're tuned into this, it's catered to you if you have under 50 employees. Enrique's book is designed for companies that have over 50 employees, but that being said, there's still really good information that came out of it that we are going to talk about that will be relevant to any size business owner. Okay. So what was the big takeaway from Enrique's book? Price versus value. And price is what you sell your company for at the end of the day. It's when it actually transacts, when you have a check, that is the price that your company sold for, and that is the only time that we actually know the price. Prior to that, we're always talking about value. And the value is dictated by it's in the eyes of the beholder. So you have an idea of what your company is worth as far as value, and your buyer has an idea of what the company is worth as far as value and how your company is going to bring value to them. That's what's going to bring you all the way along the line to the end of the day when you finally know the price when your company closes. So the question is, how do we increase the value of our company? And that's what the 44-day challenge is all about. It's about step one, making sure that your company is even sellable. So you got to get to step one first. And then step two, once it's sellable, let's maximize the value so that we can get the highest price when we actually close the deal. All right, let's go to the whiteboard and we will get into today's lesson. So now we understand price versus value. So inside our company, there is trapped value. This is intrinsic value. And we've set it at 100% here. This is all the intrinsic value that's trapped inside the company. And the question is, how much of this can we get out? And what Enrique says is if you poorly manage the sales process, you're going to be able to get out 60% of your intrinsic value. But as a function of process management, if you manage the process of sale properly, you'll be able to get up to 140% of your intrinsic value out of your company, which is incredibly good news because you're basically doubling what you could get out of it if the process is managed poorly. So then the question becomes, how do we manage this process? How do we unlock and maximize this value? And that's what the 44 days, of course, is all about, is teaching you guys how to do that. And at the end of the 44 days, we're going to have the top 5 books that you can go and purchase that are going to allow you to do this. Or you can follow some more of the stuff that we're putting on YouTube and you'll know more of these steps and how to maximize your value. But he breaks it down to 4 major steps. Okay, prep and planning. So this is pre-sale. And I would suggest, you know what, I want to put a marker on here. If you put 1 to 2 years into this, if you know that you're going to be selling your company in 1 to 2 years and you prepare for that, then you're going to be able to, right off the bat, take that intrinsic value and maximize it, get your 100% of your intrinsic value. To get more than that, to push it above your 100%, you're going to do this other stuff. Documentation. And we've talked about documentation throughout the whole program, but that's documentations on your finances. It's having a really good offer memorandum document. It's having a good planning procedure documents in your whole company. So documentation is incredibly important. Boom, that's going to bump you up a little bit more. Your search for buyers. The better you present yourself, the more buyers you're going to attract. And depending on the size of your company, there's different ways to go out there and search for buyers. Yesterday, we actually talked in our video on the 37th day about how to attract more buyers. So you're going to search for more buyers. The more buyers that you get, obviously you're going to have some competition in the sale process. Boom, you're going to bump yourself up again. Then the next way that you're going to get right up to the top is negotiation. You need to be an expert in negotiation, and this takes time. This takes experience. Everyone thinks they're a pretty good negotiator, but the reality is the likelihood, and depending on the size of your company, the bigger your company gets, the more you're going to be negotiating with people that have vast amounts of negotiating experience. So I highly suggest that you get somebody on your team, whether it be your business broker, your intermediary, an M&A professional, get them on board so that you have some skill here in the negotiation part when you go to sell. Huge. This is gonna bump you up and get you right to that 140 mark, okay? So a short video today, but these are the 4 stages that Enrique talked about in his book that are gonna increase the value of your company. Obviously, it's gonna happen over time. You need time to build all this stuff in so that you can reach your potential. And remember, if you don't manage this process well, the maximum you're gonna be able to get out of your company is 60% of what it's worth. Now, that might be what you need to do. You need to sell quick, you need to offload, you need to get rid of it, and you're okay with that 60%, fine. But if you have time and you know you're gonna sell your company, start here. Start with the planning, move your way along, and you're gonna be able to maximize your actual price at the time of sale. Okay, guys, that was day 38 of the 44-day challenge. We keep bumping along. I'm telling you, I'm excited to get to day 40. It's going to be a milestone for us, that much closer to the finish line. Anyhow, thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow on day 39. I'm Scott Duke. Looking forward to it.